My name is Maluba, and I've been living with HIV since birth. That'll mark 29 years this year.
My name's Trevor, and I've been living with HIV for 31 years, since 1990.
Living with HIV is not isolating or shameful. It opens up your horizon.
HIV's helped me to connect with my culture, to reconnect with it, and to begin to understand what it means to me to live as an Indigenous person.
Living with HIV means I get to be authentically brave. By authentically brave, I mean in having that power and taking that control to fully take care of myself.
HIV, believe it or not, has really enriched my life in a big way.
Intersecting factors like HIV stigma, anti-Black racism, and misogyny make it very hard for Black women to access the services, supports, and opportunities they should have access to. Social and structural factors like this affect prevention, treatment, and testing. Anti-Black racism may cause somebody to be under the poverty line, not have access to housing, not have access to food, not have good employment, and many, many more. These factors play a role in why Black people may not be getting tested for HIV. It must be noted that not everyone is able to achieve undetectability due to these systematic oppressions that affect their ability to get equitable health care.
People that don't have a say over their own health policies are the ones that seem to be not doing as well. That's where HIV is going. Colonialism produced a lot of disconnection that was really harmful to the health of our peoples. It disconnected us from our traditional systems of learning and our understandings of health. And these came from Indigenous ways of knowing and doing, and was replaced by a system that actually wasn't made for us. We were separated from our traditional teachings and we were put into these residential schools, and they weren't ours. This colonial way of education disrupted our whole understanding of health and well-being and holism. These institutions have mistreated Indigenous people so much that it's led to a lot of mistrust. And that means a mistrust for schools, mistrust for hospitals, mistrust for prisons, and any other institution is just part of the system. Even sometimes you have to understand our community organizations are viewed as just part of the system that's been hurting me and my family and my community for hundreds and hundreds of years. And residential schools have directly led into this paradigm of institutional mistrust.
When I look at my peers, friends, associates, I realize, oh, we are a full community. People support each other in many different ways. A lot of the connections that I have been because a Black woman has helped me out.
Yes, living with HIV can be a big challenge, and stigma and discrimination is a big deal, but we can also fall back on our culture, our families, and our communities for that strength. And that strength comes from, I believe it comes from culture and our spirituality.
We resource disseminate. If there's a pamphlet, if there's an organization that's really good, we share with each other. And words travel fast.
Our communities who try to take back their language or strengthen the language and the teaching of their language and the value systems, in a lot of cases, cultural practices. Communities that get back to that are striving and creating teachings and taking pride in their ancestral knowledge, those communities are becoming healthier. But we can make culturally safe spaces where people feel comfortable and safe enough to share of their culture and be themselves and start making the space a little bit more like them.
Nothing about us without us. A lot of changes that have been made have come from the community starting to talk about it and demanding action. really get to know your clients, what lifestyle they're living now, their past, their goals for the future, without any biases, microaggressions, or judgments. Then in talking to your clients about HIV, testing, treatment, prevention, it will be much more comfortable for you and your client.
I think that it's important to walk with people, not force them, not push them, not drag them, but just walk with them on their path, developing that trust and rapport, making human connections. That's how we support people living with HIV.